What's up, coming at you live? Well, actually, this isn't live, but you know what I mean. But I am coming at you with Crossing Souls. One of the weirder games I've actually played this year. Was it good? Was it bad? Stick around till the very end to see the score out of 10. We're going to be looking at the gameplay, the presentation, and the overall impact of the game. So let's go right into that. What you are seeing is some footage captured of my gameplay playing through Crossing Souls. As you can tell, the game is pretty much an 8-bit old style classic game. Now, the game was developed by 4Addict, and on the actual PlayStation Store, it says music inspired by John Williams. I kind of got hyped up for a second because I thought it was, but then I caught the word inspired. And if you don't know him, then you've been living on the rock for the past 40 years because he's most infamous for things like Jurassic Park, Jaws, Harry Potter, Saving Private Ryan. I could go on and on. I could just make this a 15-minute video talking about John Williams. But I won't, because that wouldn't be great to watch. Today we're talking about Crossing Souls. Now, this game takes a huge chunk out of the 80s and just smashes it in here. And I wasn't born in the 80s, I was born in the late 90s, so I couldn't benefit from the nostalgic fact. I bet if I was born in the 80s, I would appreciate this game more than what I actually do. And I sort of feel like it'd be the same for me, like if there was a game that came out that was inspired from the early 2000s and whatnot, or even just like a remaster of one of my favorite games. Like if King Kong Remaster came out, I would eat that up like a bowl of brownies. Crossing Souls is your regular bird's eye view, top down, just beat 'em up, action arcade adventure. I would just put it like that. It's very plain and simple. You get 5 different characters, right? And they each have their own ability. Some can jump, some can hovercraft with his shoes, some can sprint and dash really fast. And full-blown spoiler warning. Okay, if you want to play this game, I'm gonna spoil it for you right now. So if you actually do want to play it, go out and play it. It takes like 9 hours. It took me around 9 to 10 hours, which is about an hour longer than I thought it would. But spoilers, one of the greatest things about this game is the difference in characters and how you can strategically use them to your advantage until they start dying halfway through. My biggest pet peeve about this game is that you have all these good characters, right? But when you get to the end, you're down to like two guys, the main two. The chick gets kidnapped, the black dude dies, and then the little brother dies literally like 5 minutes into the story. Now, yes, it is an 8-bit game. It's got a really cheesy, sort of story going on, and the ending, we'll get to the ending in the general impact section. Now, the characters are actually pretty likable for an 8-bit game. You got Chris, the leader, you got Matt on the side here, who's the scientific guy, Charlie, who's the only girl, Big Joe, and then you pretty much got the most unknown character, which is pretty much Chris's little brother, who has no attacks, and he honestly shouldn't even be in the story. There's no point to actually him being in here because he does die 5 minutes into the game, and his only attack is he has none because his attack button just pulls a booger out of his nose, so that's just great. Fighting enemies gets pretty repetitive since all you do is smash square, but you can do a little bit of diversity with the bombs and the lightning flashes, I like to call them. And one thing though I like to point out in this game, really good bosses. Some of these bosses are really fun to play. $59 out of 100 pros. Fun gameplay, some puzzles are in there, good range of characters. Cons, gameplay got stagnant, and the last half of the game was not near as good as what I wanted it to be. The gameplay is good in here. It's just, it's the same thing over and over. There's no depth to it, is the word I was looking for. You know, you always have the same attack, square. Everyone pretty much does the same thing. And it gets even worse when half your characters die off, because then you're just using the same guy over and over, you know, for about 2 hours. And at that point, it's not very good. And about the, you know, gameplay not being as good in the back half, I felt the first half of this game was amazing, but it kind of felt like the farther it got along, the worse the game got. It's kind of one of those. But presentation is still up. What can an 8-bit game get for presentation? Let's find out. I am a very firm believer in, you know, graphics not being everything in the presentation of the game. That being said, these are pretty bad. These are extremely bad graphics compared to, you know, Far Cry 5 or something. I'm not going to dock, you know, an extreme amount of points. The game does look good. Like, it has a good color scheme and everything. The actual enemies that you fight are actually pretty well designed. I just can't shake the fact that when I see a cat, it's like 4 black squares and a little red square for his eye. And it's like, meow. I'm like, that's a cat? What? Like, some of the stuff in here is just insane. But the actual highlight of the game, and I was kind of disappointed they didn't have more of this, is the cutscenes. The cutscenes are absolutely brilliant. I am an absolute huge fan of that. There's only about 15 to 20 minutes of those cutscenes in the game, probably even less, and I'm very disappointed by that. I was hoping there'd be at least an hour's worth of cutscenes. I could, like, if I didn't, I wouldn't even care if there was no gameplay. Just show this; it'd be a movie. Make a movie like that. That would be amazing to see. So there's not too much to talk about on the, you know, visuals, but the sound part of the game was pretty good. You know, all the sound animations, like when you get hit or when you do an attack, are pretty much the same throughout the game. Everything has, you know, one soundtrack to it. The actual soundtrack of the game was pretty good. Very 80s style. If you ever played it, you would definitely get what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's presentation. 68 out of 100. Pretty solid score. Pros. Got some really good color in here. Enemies and bosses look really good. Soundtracks aren't that bad. They're definitely, you know, listenable. Cons, not enough cutscenes. Why would you make beautiful looking cutscenes like that and only put a certain amount in there? And, you know, the 5-block cat always gonna be on my mind when I think about this game. Yeah, presentation. It is definitely a weird one to score because, you know, the graphics don't look the best, but I don't mind them personally. We still have a good category to go to, though. General impact. What is my opinion about this game? Let's go find out. Okay, here we are, general impact. So my overall thoughts on this game? Yeah, I don't love it. I might play it again. You know, I like it. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It's better than Far Cry 5, that's for sure. It's a really weird one to score in general impact because the story overall is pretty good, and the actual first half of the game was awesome. It was amazing. I love the settings. You're in the jungle. You know, the setting of the city. I think going into the jungle and the whole redneck village where you find Charlie is so good. And the back half of the game, from the old western city, like village town thing, and out from there on, just goes downhill so fast because then everyone starts dying and shit goes down the hill, and we get to the ending. You want to know what my thoughts on the ending are? Well, here we go. Amazing story so far, right? Here comes the big boss battle against the big god Egypt thing. We got everybody coming in hot. You know, I got the device going. Everything just coming to this big giant crescendo, and then the game ends. And this is no joke. This is not edited footage. This is not anything like that. This is literally the ending and how he reacted.
Wait, what? What?
What?
That's the gayest ending since Far Cry 5.
Yeah, 46 out of 100 general impact, or overall impact. I don't even know at this point, because the ending is so bad. I feel like they shouldn't have gone to try and do something crazy. It's an 8-bit game. You're not gonna be the Last of Us story. Let's do this some crazy twist where the dogs eat him in the end. What? No, that'd be like going to the main boss and all of a sudden the dog's turning around on this like crazy guy in Last of Us and eating him for no reason. Just nothing explained. I don't know, pros, creatures. Jesus Christ. Sorry, the settings got my head turning. Pros, creative. Game is very creative, very unique. Puzzles are good. Cutscenes are awesome. Cons, really bad ending. Why does everyone die? You know, it kind of makes the game boring. The one good thing in the beginning of the game was why the first half was better than the last half. Diversity and strategy, you could do to 5 different characters. And yeah, last half of the game was forgettable. So yeah, a solid 5.8 out of 10. A very not good score. Yeah, this game isn't very good. It can have its moments, but I would suggest you not playing it unless you're a huge fan of the 80s and arcade games. If you did want to experience some Crossing Souls, just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. The cutscenes are utterly brilliant. It's the star of the show in this game. But yeah, 5.0 out of 10. Final rating, final score. I will leave you with a cutscene so you can enjoy the brilliance of it, and I will see everyone next time. Peace.
Yo, holy shit, he did!
Thank you guys for watching and sticking in till the end. You guys are the MVP. Comment your thoughts down below. I actually really do want to hear the voice and opinion of the people. Subscribe for more content. There will always be more videos I'm putting out. Love making videos. Hopefully you'll be here for next time. Dark Views signing out. Peace.